Hello and welcome everybody to the second game of the playoffs for the Bridon League Open Cup. This is the lower bracket semi-final. Lose this one and you are completely out, and well, unfortunately for the Little Busters forever, they are only one loss away from being eliminated. Whereas xGame, looking good in game number 1, definitely feeling pretty confident about themselves coming into game 2 I would assume, but we'll see if Little Busters forever pull out something magical for us. Already ran a patch, unfortunately for them, not quite as successful as they hoped for, but in any case, this is a best of 3, game number 2. We're HeflaTV, I'm Coucher, and once again joined by Mike Loris. Do you think we're gonna get to a game 3?
I think if Little Busters go for something similar, then we're definitely not. They should just go back to how they were playing previously, which is just super aggressively. Last game when you have a Terrorblade, when you have a Phoenix Pudge dual lane, like I want to see that lane win, just because of how awesome that would be. But let's be honest, the chances of it actually working are just so incredibly slim that I'm probably better off putting my hopes elsewhere. So they have to go aggressive. And last game they were playing super passively. That's just not their style. That's just not how Little Busters have been playing the previous games. That's not what got them here. That is what got them there. This is going to be a much better game for Xantic, and they have now a pretty decent shot at getting to a game 3.
Yeah, Axe is definitely just kind of the tempo hero that Little Busters forever kind of need or feel like they could have used in game number 1, for example. Also now Disruptor to deal with the IO, not too shabby either. Berserker's Call, even if you can't get him low enough for the Culling Blade to decapitate them, at least you're gonna have the Disruptor to follow up with a kinetic field if need be. Of course, xGame getting their hands on the Juggernaut, one of the premier heroes at the moment. I guess Juggernaut and Axe both are the heroes that weren't played as often, but at the moment just first pick, first ban materials.
Yeah, and it seems like xGame are going to be running the Juggernaut as the IO partner. Mantis has been the one to be playing the Juggernaut, and he was just the one to partner up with the IO last game. It's not exactly the strongest combination, but it is very good. Maybe with the extra overcharge, you don't go for a Mask of Madness, and then you'll be able to keep yourself a little bit safer. But this is a combination that teams were experimenting with when IO was just becoming a thing. Like, that was a couple of years ago. But it's a strong combination, but Little Busters, they are this time so prepared for this IO. Disruptor is, one of the most direct counters, and Axe just chilling near that little glowing thing, waiting for the two heroes to arrive, then Berserker's calling. It pretty much doesn't get much better than that. So xGame, though they do have two very powerful heroes, Little Busters heroes are equally powerful and better up against what xGame have so far.
Yeah, we'll see how the rest of the draft will pan out though. At the moment, I mean, the Phoenix getting respect banned, for a second I thought like xGame, are they really going for like a straight off Broodmother or something? But if they pick a Broodmother up against Axe, highly likely that it's gonna be an epic mistake. I've seen one team do that, picking a Broodmother while the enemy team already had the Axe, and safe to say they freaking failed. So most likely not to be the case, but for xGame, how do you think they will run this Juggernaut? I mean, is that the IO partner, or do we still have something else coming out?
I want to think that it's not the IO partner, but at the same time, what do you do with your Juggernaut if you're not going to be running him in that super core role? The IO Juggernaut mid lane is fine, I guess, but it doesn't have as much lane control as the tiny IO that we just saw last game that dominated the mag. You can't really do that as a Juggernaut just because spin takes a lot of time to do the damage. It does do a lot, but if you are trying to keep up mid lane with the spin, you're probably not going to be getting that kill. So it is a combination that I would rather see I would rather like to see xGame not run, but I don't see any alternatives.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I guess there's a tiny chance of like a Juggernaut offlane. Up against the Disruptor specifically might not even be too bad of a laner there. It depends on what other supports Little Busters want to utilize, if they have some other lockdown to deal with the Juggernaut. At the moment, Sky of Mage with the Ancient Seal wouldn't be too bad, but then again, apart from the Axe, they would be maybe a little bit stun light then. But Juggernaut just being able to Blade Fury your way out of a kinetic field or a glimpse might be just what you're looking for as an offlaner up against Disruptor. But funny enough, Little Busters, they still chose to ban out that Broodmother. I mean, it kind of feels like maybe a waste of a ban in all fairness.
Axe is picked up as a direct counter to Broodmother, and I can only help but feel that that's part of the reason why we see him all the time is because teams realize that Axe is really good against Broodmother, but he's also really good against a lot of other heroes also. So I'm going to attribute that to the fact that Broodmother was experimented with very heavily previously, but Axe is like the most direct counter. He doesn't have to worry. You don't have to worry about a Broodmother too much when you have an Axe on your side. because he can't pull that hero out of invis. But xGame looks like they're just going to stay the course and do as similar of a job as they did in the last game. Brewmaster as the pick is pretty reasonable. I would think that Brewmaster, this game would be more inclined to go towards the mid lane, IO Juggernaut towards the top lane, just because of their limited kill potential when you compare it to the last. But Little Busters, they're going to grab an Ember Spirit with that axe. This is a pretty dangerous lineup that Little Busters are working with.
Yeah, they have lots of burst damage early on as well. Ember Spirit is like rather good in the early and into the mid game transition. Then in the mid game he's maybe not as strong, but later on he gets once again just reaches his peak. So early on with the axe, if the axe gets an early enough blink dagger, Little Buster can definitely go extremely aggressive with this, especially having the backup of the Static Storm to deal with the Brewmaster or even the Juggernaut for that matter. The only downside of an Ember Spirit at the moment is that even if he has the Flame Guard, he might just get Omni Slashed. So hopefully whoever plays the Ember will always just have it in the back of his mind to leave like one remnant behind for safety.
Yeah, and Little Buster's previous displays of Ember Spirit were pretty impressive. They were super aggressive, pretty much exactly what you would expect from Little Busters, and it worked out so incredibly well. So it's going to be a solid opening from them. It allows them to play very aggressively, and now with the Witch Doctor pickup, both a very good hero versus the IO, also a good hero to play aggressively because you keep the likes of Axe and Ember Spirit alive with your heal. xGame, they're going to grab a Viper, so it looks like they're going to delay their support choice for a little while longer, maybe slight chance of a Juggernaut support. I'm actually kind of surprised that Little Busters haven't picked up an Ancient Apparition at this point because they love the hero and be really good against what xGame have. But either way, xGame, their lanes are looking to be pretty strong, and now they have so many options other than the IO Juggernaut mid lane.
Yeah, and it's also just the Brewmaster and Viper. They're fairly tanky heroes. Also, just Viper builds like an Aghanim Scepter, a mech, something like that to make it even more so. It just might mean that Axe within the Berserker Skull might not be able to completely kill off a hero, and if you fail to do that, there might be suddenly a Brewmaster getting a primal split off. Maybe Viper gets to activate the mech, survives a little bit longer, at least gets off a Viper Strike before his death, something along those lines. So it's always nice to not get instant killed, or at least have heroes that might be able to survive a little bit longer. But Magnus is the ban once again from xGame. Magnus definitely would have been a good combination with the Ember.
Can I quote you on that? It's always nice not to get insta-killed. So just put it on MoveOut as like Counter's quote. We should actually do that. That would be pretty sweet because that's so true, man. I can't deny that.
People die when they are killed.
Oh man, they don't think it'd be like it is, but it do. Magnus going to hit the bin from xGame. Mostly, I think, because they don't exactly know what Little Busters are going to be going for. Scarth Mage going to be the ban outs. Shadow Shaman is a reasonable hero to partner up with the Juggernaut. Lots of disable, therefore lots of spin damage. And you know, even though Juggernauts are constantly going for the one spin stat Blade Fury build, this is looking like a pretty good game to go for a little bit more spin. But the odds of people going for that pretty low nowadays. But regardless, this is a pretty solid pickup for xGame. Just more disables in a very disable light lineup. You need some answer to Ember Spirit, and instant hex is an instant hex.
Yeah, it's going to be excellent. Might even be able to completely negate the champion from the axe, for example, if the Shadow Shaman himself is fast enough to do so. Also, this is some proper pushing now, finally. Without that, yes, Healing Ward would have been nice to sustain the creeps yourself and everything, but they didn't have any like massive tower damage coming out before the Shadow Shaman, so it's gonna be nice. Also, you can solo kill people as a Shadow Shaman support, of course. Most likely you're gonna have to commit the Mass Serpent Wars, but if you have enough of a mana pool, Hex into Mass Serpent Wars into Shackles, not too many heroes can survive that combination.
Yeah, maybe Axe will be able to survive because he's just so tanky. Maybe Ember Spirit can jump away. Maybe Queen of Pain can blink away. Little Busters, they definitely recognize the fact that xGame have pretty much all of their crowd control in the form of the Shadow Shaman. Grabbing two core heroes who can easily bounce around the fight is going to be really difficult for xGame to actually lock him down. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on Reeves to stay alive in this game. If he gets called by the Axe, then I'm pretty sure xGame just can no longer fight just because they don't have any answers other than the Shadow Shaman to this Ember Spirit Queen of Pain. Eventually they'll be able to split and use the rock for a small amount of crowd control, but it's not really too substantial. The Juggernaut's actually going to struggle this game to Omni Slash many of the targets he really wants to Omni Slash. And if you can't kill off the enemy core with the Omni Slash, then you're going to be a lot sadder as a Juggernaut. So this game for Little Busters, this is such a superior draft. Not because it's a little bit more vanilla, but because it fits right into their wheelhouse. This is how they want to be playing, I think, most of their games. And xGame, their draft is solid as well, but it just seems like Little Busters this time are a lot more comfortable with what they have.
Yeah, and it's just not the Queen of Pain only being able to run around freely with the lack of lockdown that xGame has. It's just the pure damage coming out of that. Also a natural Orchid builder, which is going to be nice against Juggernaut, Brewmaster, even possibly the Shadow Shaman or the IO both. And just Blade Fury suddenly, Juggernaut might not be as safe with the pure damage coming out of the Sonic Wave also, so Xantic definitely having a pretty nice lineup. So xGame, they have to make sure that they're gonna lane this so that Xantic don't get a massive advantage, and if they can, they should try to delay out the Axe Blink for as long as possible.
Yeah, ideally, it would be for them the Viper going up against the Axe, and then the other lanes are probably just going to be fine pretty much no matter how you do it. I would expect the Viper to go towards the mid lane though, and in that case, he's going to be running into a Queen of Pain. It's still not a terrible matchup for the Viper there, but the Axe is really going to be the problem because Axe versus Brew, Axe versus Juggernaut, Shadow Shaman, IO. And these are pretty decent lanes for the Axe, and as you said, an Axe that gets a very early start, especially Xantic's Axe that gets a very early start, is going to be a pain in the ass for xGame to deal with. Like, they're already going to struggle with their crowd control. You don't really want to be wasting stuns or using stuns on an Axe if you can avoid it.
Oh, most certainly so, and this Axe, like, man, if he just gets, probably it's like Tranquil Boots into Blink, the usual start for the Axe, but if he gets maybe a Vanguard to follow, maybe an Agonist, just tank up a little bit, xGame, I think throughout the entirety of this game, might find it pretty hard for themselves to just kill the Axe.
It's always hard to kill the Axe, man, and they are going to have to commit a lot if they actually want to do that, and it's not even like they have just one target to kill. They have to kill off the Axe, who's a big threat, while at the same time trying to deal with two high mobility heroes who are just as much of a threat, if not more so, in the Queen of Pain and the Ember Spirit. And what's worse is that they're going to have to do that all the way through a Witch Doctor healing them. xGame, they have like a lot of heal, they have a lot of sustain, they have a decent amount of damage, but at xGame it just seems like their peak is the mid game, but Xantic's peak is also in the mid game, and they peak a lot harder at that exact same time. So in that sense, early late game, a little bit more of a toss up, but early game I would favor Xantic most of the time with that Axe and Queen of Pain.
Man, just Axe is so manly that you always have to favor him, man. You can never go up against Axe. Or well, you can, but Axe is so scared to play against. That lockdown, it's a pretty long duration as well. I mean, on the first level, having 2 seconds, not too shabby at all. And if you manage to land it correctly, if you catch multiple targets, it's just a crap ton of lockdown, of course. You do want to catch multiple targets, not only to have the lockdown on them, just to get the higher chance to get counter helix procs, so I mean, Xantic, it's all up to them that how they lane this. At the moment though, it might be the Axe off lane, but a lot of the times when Axe should be in the off lane, they just go into the jungle instead. They're like, screw this, I'm not even gonna go try it there, just Axe jungle is actually pretty fast.
Yeah, he's one of the fastest as far as dedicated junglers are concerned. He's no enigma, but he, with a couple of stacks, can get the job done, and the xGame lineup, they're not really capable of punishing a jungle Axe at all. Like, the IO is not going to leave to do it. That's just not going to happen. Shadow Shaman, Hex Shackle with the help of neutral creeps, maybe will get something done, but the odds of him getting out alive while he's doing that, the Shadow Shaman, is just so incredibly low. So Axe, even if he does get shut down in lane, as you said, will have a free pass to get some amount of farm. And xGame, they don't really have those luxuries. I don't think their heroes are going to get shut down in lane that hard, just because, I mean, if you look at their 3 core heroes, Brewmaster always does fine, Viper always does fine, Juggernaut is very safe as well. And they're going to be getting some farm, or at least something in lane, so they don't have to go for these alternatives, but Xantic, they're pretty much guaranteed farm, and hopefully this game is going to be actually starting eventually soon. I don't really know what they're talking about, but I can only assume it's something that's very, very important and Dota related.
Oh, most certainly, so whoever talks random crap during a pause. The one fun thing I'm just looking at the moment, or rather unable to look at, is the IO. All I see is his shadow, more or less. Of course, if you hover over him, you're gonna get the outlining, but
I see him on my screen.
I only see the shadow, pretty much.
You're missing out, man. These particles.
I see the name, and when I hover over him, then I see him as well, but other than that, there's only the shadow. Maybe like a slight blurring around the edges, but I think that's my imagination more than anything else.
I think Valve should hide like a really subtle face in IO in like one of these patches, just randomly put it in, and then see how long it takes for people to notice. Turns out IO had like a small smiley face the entire time. That would be awesome.
Well, he may have started with a smiley face, but since nobody noticed, it turned sad.
Sorry, Io, we didn't mean to.
Oh god, them pauses. I mean, nobody's even disconnected, which means that
Dude,
we
and they're
can't
all
even
talking
like...
also.
Harasho, well, something mute. Something's muted, I don't know. Although, Xantic was saying something about the IO, so it couldn't have been about their own team or Viber post. But Harasho is good. That's all I know. I don't know
Okay,
what's
well
good though.
that's a lot more than what I know, so I'm just gonna have to take your word for it. You could be lying to everyone. I have no idea. I don't know what you would gain by that, but yeah, I don't know.
God damn, I wish I knew what they were talking. I can, like, with time I can read the words. Of course, the meaning of it completely eludes me.
Yeah, that's why languages are so freaking difficult. You learn the alphabet, but you actually have to realize that I don't know what this alphabet means, and then you quit every single time, man, every single time. Maybe it's good that we don't know what they're talking about because they might be talking about just some like random bullshit. So would be really upset that they're not trying to get this game started. But now we could assume that they're talking about how they want to get this game going.
Well, now that, like, never mind, it's not yet.
So if anyone in chat knows what these guys are talking about, give us the bullet points because we're clueless over here. Got no clue. Yeah, basically unknown. They always communicate in English, and that's really sweet. Being able to understand banter is important, guys. But unfortunately, like Xantic's cosmetics, they're not even that good. Like they're mostly vanilla, actually, except for the Queen of Pain, and neither side really has much going for them in the way of cosmetics. So they're not even fun to look at, except for maybe the Juggernaut. But man, we've been seeing so much Juggernaut lately, which is really kind of weird. Like I think he's a powerful hero, but yeah, I don't know. It's not really a fun hero to watch, at least not in my opinion. I think the real problem I have, yeah, I think the biggest problem I have is that these Juggernauts, like, I'm pretty sure if I was Valve or Ice Frog or whatever, I would not really be happy in the fact that this hero who's being played all the time now is going for none of his skills. Like Blade Fury is a trademark Juggernaut skill, but he goes for Blade Dance and stats. Like as far as game design is concerned, I'm pretty sure that's not good game design if you're not going for your skills. I don't know, man. Hmm. Dude. And now we have to sit here knowing that fact. But if I was Ice Frog, I would tweak it so that Juggernaut should be going for skills. Like if I was Ice Frog, I'd make it so that no hero should be wanting to get stats over their skills. I don't know. I'm not Ice Frog, dude. No, no, that's not how you do it. People will be so pissed. Dude, okay, here's what you do. You hit Juggernaut's, like, what's it called, base attack time, so that early on he'll be like attacking a lot slower, and then right clicking is going to be less attractive to the Juggernaut. So you want something that is going to be ignoring that. That's what you do. I'm literally Ice Frog.
Man, that's good to hear that you're Ice Frog in disguise at the moment.
Don't
So,
tell anyone, guys. Don't tell anyone.
man, this pause, I mean, I swear to God, in a couple of minutes I'm gonna be like, what the hell is going on? Yes!
No, I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, man, you're reading my mind. We're waiting for Mashunya. Okay, whoever that is. Go!
Classic Mashunya, man.
Classic
Always late.
Mashunya. Always waiting for him. Well, at least the
See?
pause, man, I managed to mute myself halfway between the pause or something somehow. God knows how, but it's fine. I was just testing the viewers so that they would be alert at all times.
Dude, all it took was for me to ask them what's going on, and then I started the game. Like, you're welcome. You're welcome, viewers.
They were just waiting for like...
Oh no!
Oh, I know what they
no.
were... Now I know what they were saying in Russian. They're like, okay, we're gonna troll the freaking English casters. So however long they're gonna wait, I mean, before they start asking stuff. And it's like, okay, 10 minutes. Now we know the limits.
So, already a bad start for xGame. They now have full vision of their own base, so they should know when they are moving in and out of their own base. Only one observer ward on the field for them, but let's introduce the players before we get any more into this game. On the xGame side, currently up 1-0 in the series, Bignum is going to be handling the Viper in the mid lane. Stallcat will most likely head toward the bottom lane as that Brewmaster, and then we have an aggressive tri-lane of Mantis' Juggernaut, Reeves' Shadow Shaman, and Vlad's Io. And the fact that they don't have this extra observer ward is really going to be hurting this offensive tri-lane. You need, or you would like, perfect knowledge and perfect vision whenever you're running in a tri-lane, let alone offensive tri-lane.
Oh, Axe might be in trouble. Reeves, he has the shackle, he's gonna use it immediately. Stalkat has the thunderclap if need be, waiting until the shackle to end. No Blade Fury even necessary. Although Axe does get the bounty rune, even though he did give away first blood. Ember Spirit getting the secondary bounty, so at least a minor positive for Xantic there.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're giving away 300 gold to the enemy side for 100 gold on yourself. And, you know, of course, this is going to give a lot of momentum towards the xGame side. Not the most experience, but when you're an offensive tri-lane, with an IO, you're not going to be at your strongest as far as offensive tri-lanes are concerned, so they really need as much as they can get. Axe does have Ring of Protection, but, man, if this is not a game to go for Blade Fury, then I honestly don't know what is, because Axe, he will have his call to give himself a little bit of armor from right clicks, but Blade Fury is going to be his best tool defending against this tri-lane. Reeves can take a lot of damage getting to a fist fight with the enemy side. Mantis is going to try to reinforce. Shackle is there, but Mantis seemingly away from the picture. There's the Blade Fury. About time. Buddy will get cut a little bit by Danny. He will stick onto the Axe well enough. This should be another kill for xGame. Lots of spins doing a lot of damage to xGame, but far, far away from lethal.
That to be honest should have still been a faster kill with xGame taking less damage. Mantis, I mean, Reeves, I'm not too sure if he didn't call it out or something that let's go for the kill, I'm gonna shackle him. But Mantis, he literally ran to the creeps. He's like, oh, I'm gonna farm. Oh, you have shackles activated. I didn't notice. Let me join in. But still, a kill is a kill. Other lanes, though, should be probably somewhat even. I mean, mid lane, Queen of Pain probably will not get harassed too much by Viper, and bottom lane, I mean, Stalkat, he's up against the dual lane, so Witch Doctor and Ember Spirit should have the upper hand there at least.
So top lane is going to continuously be a wreck for Xantic as Mantis is going to close in yet again with help of the Shackles. Spin is there, and Oxen is going to be a smoothie. He's going to be the third casualty on the top lane for Xantic, and I mean, this is clearly not going well for their top lane, and what's bad is that their other lanes aren't going fantastically either. Stallcat is doing slightly better than the Ember Spirit, and mid lane is going to be more or less a wash. That's unavoidable. And now the Axe is actually forced into the jungle, yet Shadow Shaman is right on top of him. It's going to be blocking out those pulls and pressuring the Axe. Mid lane's actually a dual FN. Is going to have to blink out of there. All lanes really are going very well for xGame, and that's not really what I would be expecting. Axe is having a uncharacteristically tough time.
Well, at least Juggernaut is out of mana, so there's a tiny positive for Xantic, so he can't play Fury anymore, but oh god, Oxen, no! Run away fast! Tether is there, Mantis gonna body block with the Tether slow, Shackles to follow, and they don't need Blade Fury, although then again now with Lad coming in with a full bottle, Mantis has plenty of mana to spare once again. 4-0,
Nice.
2 minutes 40 minutes in, or 2 minutes 40 seconds in. Didn't expect such a start.
Oh, Axe, not again. He's going to get a call out this time. There are a couple neutrals lending aid, and ZGK is actually closing in. Witch Doctor has that stun, but they also have the stun up first. Mantis is going to close in with the right clicks. He has the spin available, and he will use it to get yet another kill. 2-0-3. Okay, you know, before when I said this is a Blade Fear game, that's when I thought there would be an actual laning stage. If he's doing this well with a level 1 Blade Fear, you could do whatever you want. You already have the phase boots. You might as well go for more Blade Dance and stats. This is just a
Bad
disaster. Bottom lane also.
Oh, Stalkat gets the kill, although Bad, he mispositioned himself. He was trying to body block Stalkat, I think, trying to get the creep wave to come in and help with the damage, but got into the tower range and, well, just 6-0, 3.5 minutes in. What the hell are we watching?
And now, I mean, the CS is still going okay for Xantic. The fact that Ember Spirit died, though, really going to crimp his laning phases. You don't really want to get the Brewmaster any momentum towards that level 6, but he's actually pretty close to level 6. Not only that, he's very close to his Blink Dagger. He's going to get chained down to the floor. Tower cover, though, is going to mean that he's going to survive. Might have to base Stallcat, but small price to pay. Up towards the top lane, they're going to try to go for Vlad. This time they do have... No, they don't have a Glimpse. It's level 2 Thunderstrike. They're going to get the Shackle onto the Axe. They're going to kill off the Healing Ward, but Axe is doomed to fall soon enough. Crit from Mantis going to do the deal there. Now they're going to change focus onto Oxen. One more crit and a shock. That's going to be yet another kill. Vlad's still surviving, and ZGK has no chance of getting out of here. He's not going to get any kills either. 9-0. Are you kidding me? Is this game just like over right now? Can Xantic come back from this?
I think they can, but they need the Axe Blink Dagger somehow, so Axe... He can't even go jungle mid lane though. Bignum, he's gonna lose his life. FN has a double damage rune, one more right click, never mind. Shadow Strike damage ticks him over. So they still have a chance. I mean, Queen of Pain is getting decent-ish levels. He's gonna hit level 6 before 5 minutes in. If Axe only got a reasonably timed Blink Dagger, they could still start blowing people up. I mean, the lack of lockdown will still be there for xGame, but this kind of a start definitely hurting it. Oh god, Primal Split, Bat does not have his remnants yet. Boulder Toast up, of course, not taking too much damage from the Fire Panda's burn at least. Now though, no Flame Guard anymore. Thrown up in the air for another Boulder Toast to come off cooldown. No Dispel though, and never mind, that's just gonna be a Primal Split used. And do we have a glimpse now? We still don't, but the Kinetic Field might just be enough. Stalkat too low on mana to Thunderclap, although the IO, well, he's gonna come in, help out with the mana of Thunderclap. Coming out onto ZJK and Witch Doctor, he's gonna lose his life. Bad. He's not in the clear yet. Glimpse, finally Oxen gets 1 point into it, but is he even safe? Maybe with the Kinetic Field, no Thunderclap yet. A few more right clicks with Spirits. Oh, another Urn Charge, not gonna happen.
I don't know why Vlad has the Ring of Aquila from the Juggernaut, but that's not really relevant here. The relevant fact is that Stallcat was put into such a compromising position. The split isn't really good at killing off certain heroes, like killing off Witch Doctor or Disruptor. Yeah, could get the job done, but Ember Spirit, probably not with that Flame Guard. So Stallcat trying to very boldly go for a kill that probably isn't going to be working out, but he wasn't even punished just because the IO was there. A full bottle with a very early Urn Charge, having 4-0-5 as the IO score is going to give him so much extra survivability, and survivability for the IO means survivability for his teammates, and that showed up right there. Over in the North River, Reeves is going to get hit with the cask. He already used the Shackle, and it looks like he's just going to turn and fight just to do as much damage as he can before he dies, and he will in fact go down. FN has a Sonic Wave here. Bignum is not safe. He's going to try to fight ZGK. Actually, there's a Haste Rune Stallcat coming in. That's going to mean that this Witch Doctor is completely screwed. He's not dying very fast, but they'll get him down eventually. There it is. Viper is going to claim that kill, and Stallcat also going to run to FN, still with a lot of Haste Rune left. FN needs a blink out, but he doesn't have that much time. Has a blink, and it is very long now that it's recently changed. Brewmaster, he's really going to want to get this kill, but he's not going to have the chance. But still, it's another kill for xGame, and they're just controlling pretty much everywhere perfectly at this stage. Mantis at this point left up to the top lane to farm. He has an Omni Slash. Now no one on Xantic can contest him. They'll just get Omni Slash in the face. FN still is in the mid lane, actually. Will blink dodge that clap, which would have been lethal. Glimpse out is going to jump Stallcat out of the field. Okay. But, yeah, this game is just a mess.
Yeah, it's certainly so many. 11-2 already the kill score, although Axe might get the kill. Berserker's Call is there if he gets enough spins, but he's not level 6 yet. And with no Culling Blade, Mantis will survive for now. Pops down the Healing Ward, will just be fine. But there's still a chance to kill him. I mean, Juggernaut doesn't have the greatest health pools. Mid lane, ZJK. Oh god, Witch Doctor. Never mind. Stalkat not gonna go in, at least not from behind. Top lane, Vlad comes in to just provide Mantis with more mana, more HP. Like he really needed it, but they're just playing it safe. And how close is I to the level 6? Just a level away.
In the meantime, while Stallcat is playing the roaming Brewmaster, you never expect that, the Shadow Shaman is going to take control of the bottom lane and get a little bit closer to his level 6. He does have 1 kill, 8 assists, so he's getting quite a bit of extra experience. And I'm pretty sure the Ember Spirit doesn't know that Reeves is here. Okay, now he knows that Reeves is here, but either way, a fast Shadow Shaman Serpent Wards can do a hell of a lot. Over towards top lane, it's once again going to be a Blade Fury onto the Axe. This time TP support is coming in, but Omnislash is there to get the kill. It will not be needed though. With the crit, the Juggernaut will slay the Axe. Now going towards Oxen, Omnislash will get a secondary kill for Mantis. Here comes FN, has Sonic Wave maxed out Scream Pan as well, but there is additional survivability from Vlad. He will get hit with Sonic Wave, but Mantis is still fighting out. He'll chop down FN, now going towards the Witch Doctor. They just can't stand up to this Juggernaut. No one can. Phase Boots in the chase down with 1 more crit. It's going to be a triple kill for Mantis. Going to make it 4. He does get it out with a crit again. Oh my god, Mantis is manipulating RNGs, collecting all these kills, and at the same time, bottom lane bad is going to get disabled. It's going to be a clean team wipe for xGame. What the hell is going on in this game, man? I have no idea what's
Axe
happening.
might lose his life once again, came in, took a couple of right clicks, healing ward is still there, and well, Axe can't just get close enough. Blade Fury will be there to make it so that Axe cannot really ring around the rosy. And good game well played is called 17-2, 9 minutes in, Mantis 8-0 and 5. I'm at a complete lack for words, man. What?
Dude, Little Busters Forever took a huge bite of the curb, and xGame put their foot right on the skull. This was like as Stompy can get. Like a pre-10-minute game, you're gonna have a Stompy game. Like that's pretty much no questions asked. But this was decisive. Like it actually doesn't get any more decisive than this. I'm pretty sure we were paused longer than the game actually lasted.
Yeah, I think we were. It makes me a little bit sad. What can I say? But guys, xGame with a massive performance in game number 2 secured themselves a spot in the lower bracket final. So top 3 guaranteed. Some kind of prize money will be there for them. It is going to be at the minimum about 700 euros for them now. So if they win another best of 3, already a lot more money on the line. At least 2,000 euros for second place. So, or I don't know what it makes in dollars, but Showing Dota has them in euros for some reason. In any case, guys, thank you so much for watching. This was the only game for the Bridon League today. Tomorrow we're going to have the upper bracket final between Balkan Bears and Basically Unknown at 19:30 CET. Not entirely sure if we're going to have any other games today, but guys, still thank you for watching this, I don't know, rape fest kind of for game 2, but in any case, if you liked us and want to see more for us in the future, you can check out on Facebook as well as Twitter, HeflaTV for both. For the casters, at Coucher for me, at Mike Loris for my co-caster, and any last words?
Well played to xGame, Little Busters. They had a good run, but unfortunately this game just wasn't going to happen pretty much ever. And xGame, as you said, going to move on to face the loser of BBC versus Basically Unknown, which, as you said, is going to be happening tomorrow. So, yeah, that's going to be it for us for now, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, guys, so just a few songs to finish the stream, and, well, enjoy the rest of the day.